Thanks for watching my previous videos. Last week I covered the topic on synchronous physical standby replication with replication slot. In today's session, let me show how to convert synchronous physical standby replication to asynchronous physical standby replication with replication slot. After that, I will show how to convert asynchronous physical standby replication with replication slot to asynchronous physical standby replication without replication slot. Then failover to standby cluster as primary cluster. Finally, let me show how to convert your old primary cluster to new standby cluster. In other way, you can also call it as reinstate of old primary to new standby cluster. Before going to today's demo, okay, these are all the queries which I used to monitor my physical standby replication. Okay, these queries we need to execute in primary, and these queries we need to execute in standby. Now let's move on to demo. So now part of my demo, I'm going to convert my synchronous replication mode to asynchronous replication mode. For that, what I will need to do, let me go to my parameter file. Okay, let me comment this parameter. Similarly, let me do in my standby as well. So in order to take effect, I need to reload the cluster. So similarly, let me do my cluster to reload in standby as well. Okay, let me go to my PG admin utility to show that if I drag towards left, you can see the synchronous status here. Okay, so now what I will do, let me add few records to my other table. Inserted. Okay, let me fetch the details in my standby. Okay, see, since I'm inserting less number of records, you may not feel the lag. I want to really see the more lag, add more records. Prior to that, let me copy and let me open one more session here, paste it over here, go here, execute this statement, go to my one more session which is my primary, and you can see, okay, you need to copy one more. Execute this statement, you can see val lag over here. Okay, it will keep on increase. Okay, insertion is over. If you go here, check the count in standby, you can see that. So basically the load is very less on my primary. That is the reason why you don't see that much difference, but you can find the lag information here. Okay, go here and execute this. If you check here, you can still find the replication slot here. Okay, with this I am completing my asynchronous mode replication with physical replication slot. So next one I am going to do the same without replication slot. Let me open my parameter file and let me go to primary slot. Let me comment it, and I need to restart. Meantime, I will do similarly in standby. Okay, let me restart this one as well. Let me go to Postgres user and let me log into my database. Let me drop. Okay, I have dropped the physical replication slot. Okay, now let me go to my PG admin. Let me go to my primary. Let me change this one. So let me insert the records, but prior to that let me see. Okay, since I have started my cluster, okay, this is fine. Okay, let me insert the records here. So I have inserted 1000 records here. That's fine. Let me check the count in my standby. Copy here. Okay, just check the status. Oh, okay, it's also restarted, right? Okay, now let me check the count here. Okay, that's good. Now let me see this. Okay, here you can see the slot name as blank. That means my replication is not using any replication slot. Okay, so with this I have covered the asynchronous replication without replication slot. You can see there is no slot available. Okay, now let me go to my next topic, that is failover to my standby cluster. There are two ways to do failover cluster. One way is like you just touch this file, or you can use this method to promote your standby as a primary. Anyway, let me use this method. Before that, let me check the status of the cluster. Okay, it's a standby. Give some time and verify the status of the cluster. You can see it became a primary. Let me show the cluster status here. Okay, this one also showing as online. That means both are in primary state. Okay, so this is my latest primary, and this one is my old primary. Now let me reinstantiate my old primary as standby. For that, I'm going to use pg underscore rewind, okay, with super user called Postgres. Okay, I doubt like whether I have added entry in pg underscore hba.conf. Okay, I have not added for Postgres user. Let me add that. Save. Now reload my cluster. Similarly, do it over here. Okay. Let me add one more entry here for Postgres user. Okay, let me reload my cluster here. Check the status of the cluster. Good. Check the status of the cluster. Okay. So in order to reinstantiate my old primary, first I need to bring down the cluster. Okay. Now switch to Postgres user. Okay. Now let me copy this command. Let me paste it over here. So it is rewinding now. Actually it is fetching the changes from new primary. Okay. Now it's over. Let me go to my data directory. Let me touch okay. Now let me start my cluster. Now check the cluster status. Okay, now it becomes standby, whereas this is my primary. Now let me go to my pgadmin tool to see the status again. Okay, let me execute this command. Anyway, it's restarted, right? Anyway, see, now my old primary becomes standby. Let me go to my standby server and see. Okay, it is false. Means my old standby became primary. Okay, now what I will do, I will truncate this table. Okay, just check the count. It's 0. Now let me go to my standby server and check the status. It is 0. Okay, good. With this I am closing my session today. If you have any queries, please post your feedback in comment section. Okay, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe my channel. Thank you very much.